Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. Today we are going to see the class 8 science chapter number 2, health and diseases. Now when we talk about the health is one of the most important part of the living organism. Here we are going to talk about the health and diseases for the human beings. In that, when we talk about the health is not only the physical appearance of the person or the physical status of the person. Along with that, it should have the good mental status. It should have a good social well-beingness. If these things are good, means the physical, mental, and social well-beingness. If these three are good or in a good condition, then only the person will be called as a healthy. Not only this, along with that, the person should be free from a different kind of diseases. When we talk about the word disease, it's actually the combination of a two word. The one word is a dis and the other one is a ease. Means when person is having a discomfort in the body and the body's physiological processes or the psychological processes, then that particular state of a person is called as a disease. The condition, they have given a definition over here for the disease: condition of a disturbances in a physiological or a psychological processes of a body is called as disease. Now here when we talk about the disease, we have a different kind of a diseases. Now these types of a diseases they have explained over here in a flow chart. In that, the first of all, the disease is classified on the basis of a duration. The duration for which that particular disease remains in the living organism's body or the human's body. In that, the two are there. One is a chronic and one is a acute disease. When we talk about the chronic disease or the acute disease, these two particular diseases are based on the duration for which they remain in a body. Chronic disease which remains in a body for the longer time, like a diabetes, high blood pressures or the hypertension. These kind of a diseases that remains in the body for a longer time and some time throughout the body. Another part or the another type what we are having, that is the acute disease which remains in a body for the shorter time, like a fever, cough, cold. They are in a body for the shorter time or the short period. On the other side, when we talk about, that is the according to the reasons they are in a body. In that, the one is a hereditary diseases and the one is a acquired diseases. Hereditary diseases are like which runs from one generation to the another generation. These particular diseases what we are having, they are due to the infection or due to the problem or due to the effect in the gene of a person, and it carried from one generation to the another generation. On the other hand, when we talk about the acquired diseases, in that we have two different types. One is a infectious and one is a non-infectious diseases. Now we will see them one by one. Here they have given about the diseases, how it's get spread. Infection through sputum means, so if the person is having a cough, then how it's getting spread. In this you can see when the person is coughing or sneezing, the area which is near to the mouth is having a dense infection. In this area, small droplets are vaporized into the mist. On the other side, mist remain in the air for several minutes to few hours. It remains in the air when the person is coughing or sneezing, it remains in the air. And the large droplets, all that settle down on the ground, within few seconds, but the minute ones or the small ones that remains in the air for the while. It can be for the minutes to the hours. The further one, the next year they have given a chart about the infectious diseases, what the different kind of infectious diseases we have. In that, the infectious diseases, they may be spread through a contaminated air, water, food, or vectors like insects and the other animal are called as the infectious diseases. In that, the first one they have taken here was tuberculosis, the pathogen by which it causes, that is the Mycobacterium tuberculosis. And the mode of infection is for this particular, that is the spitting of a patient through air, prolonged contact with and sharing of a material of a patient. Means it gets spread through the air if the person is coughing in a public area, then whatever he is coughing out, along with that this particular pathogen, that is a Mycobacterium tuberculosis, spreads in the air, and it may come in a contact with the other healthy person, and that will spread the disease. It is a chronic cough. It's having a chronic cough, means a cough which lasts longer in the body. Generally, people are saying if the cough is lasting for the more than 10 or 12 days in a body, then you should contact to the doctor, because that may lead towards the tuberculosis. Then the bloody spitting. If there is a bloody spitting while coughing, then or the normal time also, or the emaciation, difficult breathing, means if there is a difficulty in the breathing, then what the prevention or the treatment is available for this, that is the BCG vaccine, which is given at the birth. Then the isolation of a patient, regular medication like a dot. Further is the next they have given is about the another disease, that is the hepatitis, well known as a jaundice. We have a different kind of a viruses for the hepatitis, that is A, B, C, D, and E, and it spreads by the contaminated water, sharing of a needles, blood transfusion. Means by drinking the contaminated water, this particular viruses can enter in a body, and that may lead towards the jaundice or the hepatitis. And another one is the sharing of needles, because there are these category of the hepatitis virus which spreads by the blood. If there is a sharing of the blood or the transfusion of the blood or the sharing of a needle, then there is a chance that this virus can transfer from one body to the another body, and that may lead towards the hepatitis. Then next one is the anorexia, yellow urine, general weakness, nausea, vomiting, gray stool. This all are the symptoms of the hepatitis. Drinking boiled water and the proper cleaning of hands is a proper care for this particular disease. Next one is a dysentery. Dysentery may be by the different reason. Dysentery means which generally we call as loose motions. Bacteria, virus, Shigella, Bacilla, Entomoeba, and the Histolytica. Contaminated food and water is the by which this particular disease is spreading. Then the watery stool, pains in the abdomen, these are the symptoms. Drinking of a boiled water and a proper storage of food, and the ORS consumption on a regular basis at that particular disease time. The next one, what we are having as a cholera. Cholera is spread by the Vibrio cholerae. The name for the bacteria is a Vibrio chlorella. Then the contaminated food and water by which this particular disease is spreading. Then the vomiting, severe diarrhea, and the cramps in legs. Because when there is a lot of vomiting, then automatically the salt level in the body reduces, and that brings the cramps in the body, especially in legs. Then the following hygienic practices, because hygienic practices we have to make means keeping surroundings neat and clean, and the hygienic situation for the personal hygiene as well. Then avoiding open place food, means we should avoid the outside food. Then the drinking boiled water, vaccination against cholera. The next one is the typhoid, which is by the Salmonella typhi bacteria or the bacterium, contaminated food and water. Then the symptoms are the anorexia, headache, rash on abdomen, dysentery, fever up to 104 degree Fahrenheit. Drinking clean water, vaccination, proper disposal of sewage is the best way to control or prevent from this particular disease. The further, these are the some infectious diseases what we have. Then the next they have given is about the cleanliness they have mentioned. See, here we should not throw the garbage, dustbin should be properly covered. Then this tire tubes or that should be properly neat and clean. The water should not get deposit in that. We should not keep open water sources. We should not allow the unwanted grasses to grow on the walls or the moisture on this particular wall. Then the flower pots, the water we should change it regularly if you're using that flower pot with the water, because these places what they have mentioned over here is a site where the mosquito can grow. This mosquito, you know very well that this may bring the diseases like malaria, dengue, or the filaria. This kind of a disease is what we have that comes with the mosquito. So we should avoid this kind of mistakes. Further is some important diseases of our present days they have mentioned over here, like a dengue. They have mentioned over here the lay eggs in a water-lodged places and thereby their population increases and spread by the Aedes aegypti, the name of that particular microorganism which produces or which spreads this particular disease. Further, they have given this disease is caused by the Den1 2 virus belonging to the type of flavivirus. Acute fever and headache with the vomiting, pains in a eye socket in a very prominent symptom, decrease in a platelet count that may lead to the internal hemorrhage. Internal hemorrhage means blood will start to bleed inside of the body and that may lead towards the death of a person. Here they have given a picture which gives us the clear picture what exactly we have to do. Like we should use covered water tanks. The pots we have to cover it properly and we have to clean it on a regular basis. Water in a coolers we have to clean it on a regular basis. We should wear the full sleeves clothes. Then the fish tank we have to clean on a regular basis. Then the smoking we have to do it on a regular basis to reduce the effect of this particular mosquito, and the mosquito repellents we have to use on a proper way. So these are the things by which we can prevent. Next they have given is about the swine flu, reasons of infections what we are having for the swine flu. Infection for swine flu occurs through pigs and humans. Viruses of a swine flu are spread through the sweat of infected person, means if the person comes in a contact and the sweat comes in a contact, that may spread this particular disease. Then the symptoms for it like difficulty in a breathing, sore throat and the body pains. Next they have given is about the diagnosis of the swine flu. How we can diagnose it. There are the two facilities, National Institute of Virology, that is NIV in Pune, and NICD in Delhi, that is National Institute of Communicable Diseases. And here they have given about information about the first case of a swine flu was reported in Mexico in 2009. Swine flu is caused by the virus influenza H1N1. Person who come in a contact with the pigs can contract this disease easily. So we should avoid the contact with the pigs. Next they have given is about the AIDS, acquired immunodeficiency syndrome. This particular is caused by the HIV, that is the human immunodeficiency virus. Why it is called as a human immunodeficiency? Because this particular virus attack on the immune system of the body. and it weakens the immune system of the body, and due to that the person contract the various kind of diseases, and that may be fatal for that particular person. Diagnosis of AIDS cannot be confirmed without test in medical laboratories. ELISA test is used for the proper diagnostic of the symptoms of AIDS a person specific. It's not the same like all persons are having a similar symptoms. Different persons, whoever is having HIV, they are having a different symptoms. It depends on a person to the person. Further is they have given us about the some facts. AIDS does not occur due to touching to and sharing the food with HIV infected person or by nursing the HIV patient. Our behavior with HIV infected person must be normal, because whenever there is a exchange of a blood or the sexual contact, then only this particular disease spreads. HIV was first reported in African species of monkeys according to the National AIDS Control Program and the UNAIDS. 80-85% HIV infections in India occur through unsafe sexual contacts. Further is infections through animals. Infections through animals. There are the number of diseases which spreads through the animals. In that, the first they have given over here is about the rabies. This is a viral disease and it occurs due to the bite of the infected dogs, rabbit, monkey, cat, etc. Means when these stray animals, especially when they bite to the humans, then the virus which is present in their mouth that's get transferred into the human body, and that brings that particular disease called as the rabies. And this particular virus enter the brain via neurons, and that brings this particular disease in a deadly stage. Hydrophobia is one of the important symptom of this particular disease. Hydrophobia. This hydrophobia word is a combination of a two word. One is a hydro, one is a phobia. Hydro is for the water and the phobia means scaredness. So person in this particular disease, they are having a scaredness with the water. They have a phobia with the water. Especially in a rainy season, it shows the effect. In this case, the victim shows extreme fear of water. Rabies is a fatal disease. However, fatality can be prevented by timely vaccination. If the timely vaccination is given, then can be saved or the person can be prevented. Symptoms start to appear within 90 to 175 days of dog bite. That's why it is advised as soon as you are getting a bite by the particular animal, then you should reach to the doctor immediately and get the vaccinations or the injections as soon as possible. Symptoms of rabies: fever for 2 to 12 weeks, exaggeration in behavior, and the hydrophobia are the major symptoms. So this is about the infectious diseases what we have to study. In the next part, we will go towards the non-infectious diseases and some more diseases we will study in them.